simplify. Here we have a complex fraction. The first step here is to find the LCD. So what I like to do here is to place a 1 here, make this all look like a fraction, and find the LCD. So let me just ask everyone who logged in. Anybody know what would be the LCD first of all?
4x squared.
Yeah, with 4x to the power of 2. Good. And then what we need to do is to multiply each term by that LCD. So let's set them up. Make sure we see what we have. I can put over 1 here. So I have adding or subtracting the top and bottom of the fraction. We're just simply multiplying each term by LCD. And that would guarantee us to eliminate all those complex fraction into a regular fraction. So the first term was here was 16 over 1. Second term here was 1 over x squared, the top. And here you have 1 over 4x to the power of 2 is 4. And then minus 4 over 1. So steps are pretty clear. To multiply each term by the LCD. And the next step is to eliminate this. Remember why we multiply each term by LCD. We do this to reduce. So the next step would be to reduce. Can somebody tell me what do I get here when I reduce this? That should be simple, right? What do you get when you multiply these and this? Let me help me all do
4x squared.
What's that?
64x squared.
64x squared. Very good. Minus what?
Minus 4x squared.
Not x squared reduces, right? So it's just minus 4 then, right?
Minus 4, yeah.
Correct.
So let's go ahead and look at this one. How about this one? What do we get here?
1.
Just 1. Very good. Minus what?
16x squared.
Right. So you see in one step, wait a minute, this should be a multiplication, right? Not minus. In one step, we eliminate this complex fraction into a fraction, right? That's all you need to do is just find the LCD among everything and multiply each term by LCD, and boom, you have no complex fraction anymore. What would be the next step, anyone?
Factor out of minus 4 out of the top.
Very good. Next step is to reduce, so we have to factor. So how do you factor the top?
Factor out the 4s.
4?
Let's do minus 4.
You want to factor a minus 4? Let's do that. Let's factor a minus 4.
Wouldn't it be 8x plus minus 2?
You want to use the difference of a square? Is that what you want to do?
That is correct.
So would you agree with that?
Yes,
You can factor a negative 4 or just 4. Let's just factor a 4. So what goes inside the parentheses at the top if I factor a 4, first of all? Let's do that. What times 4 give me 64?
16x squared.
16x squared minus 1, right? And at the bottom of the fraction, I have 1 minus 16x squared. Right? So because it looks like I can reduce that 16x squared minus 1, 1 minus 16x squared, we don't have to bother with that difference of square right now. It looks like I can reduce this by a little modification. How would I be able to reduce this? Anyone? If I have a minus b over b minus a, how do I reduce expressions like this?
Multiply the denominator by a negative.
You're close. You don't multiply, you factor a negative 1 out. See, if I have a minus b over b minus a, I factor a minus 1 out of one of these expressions, and then they would look exactly like each other. If I factor a minus 1 here, what times minus 1 give me a would be minus a. What times minus 1 give me minus b give me plus b. So it's really, this one is b minus a. And that's all I'm doing is I'm factoring a minus 1 out. I'm not multiplying by negative 1. I'm factoring by minus 1. And then once I factor a minus 1 out, these two becomes identical. So this whole thing will equal to minus 1. So you want to keep in mind that a minus b over b minus a is equal to minus 1. You can remember that. Or just factor a minus 1 out. So if I factor a minus 1 here, if I factor a minus 1 here, see, I would get minus, then I would get minus 1 plus 16x squared. So really I have minus 16x squared plus a minus 1. You see how this whole thing reduces to 1? So you end up getting, what do we get getting? The whole thing would be equal to what?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. And that's actually one of the choices here, negative 4. That's the correct answer. So we didn't have to bother with difference of square here, since we see that a minus b over b minus a appears. That's how you reduce this. But the first step is very important to remember. Find the LCD among all these terms, and then multiply each term by that, and then reduce.